there it is. That is an absolutely ultra bomber bolt. So when you get these going, you want to press and pull, and you want to try to loosen it. And so it's tight, and now I'm going to loosen it a quarter turn or maybe an eighth of a turn, and then hammer in. And I'm going to stop, and I'm going to do it again. If you hammer it in and you can't twist it, then you got to take out the wrench, loosen it, and then keep hammering. Otherwise, you risk a spinner. Boom. Perfectly camouflaged too, right?
Yeah.
Got the correct color paint. So the trick to tightening it is, there's no rush to tightening it, but each individual stroke I do fast. So I'll show you what that means. I don't want to put it on and go like, pull like that, because what happens is you have speed and you have torque, right? And you can't have both at the same time. One sacrifices the other. So if you're going slow, it's really easy to have good torque, right? And it's really difficult to identify when the bolt is done being tightened. But if you go fast, like this, just one fast stroke, when you hit the correct amount of torque for these bolts, it will go stop, right?
Obvious.
And it'll be so obvious. After that, you do like an eighth of a turn more and you're set. So each individual stroke is fast.
And just like a full one, right?
Yeah, just boom. Yep, and that's good. So I would just go boom. And then you could take all the time you want to like reset it, but each stroke is, and you could hold here or here, whatever you're comfortable with. Each stroke is fast. And then casually reset.
I feel that already.
I'd do it again.
Yeah, it's there.
So you did hit it there. So we did a quarter turn pass. If you're going fast, it stops. But imagine if you're going slow, you're like, oh, I could push through that,
Yeah.
right? So boom, there it is. That is an absolutely ultra bomber bolt. On to the next. Yeah, that's a really good bolt. I like how you felt it and you didn't keep going. Most people keep going.
Like knowing to stop. Like it's too hard.
Usually I tell people to stop and then they're like, oh, but I want to tighten it. So this one.
And the rest of it you already did?
Yep.
Or are the rest of them you did keep?
I already did the rest of them. There's one more below us, but these ones didn't get done because I didn't have any more bolts. These temporaries that I have, this is plated steel and this is stainless steel. So these metals don't like each other and it'll cause rust to happen way faster. All right, so now we drill. Oh, do you want to drill? Yeah. Okay, same as last time. Right about this angle right there, and whatever you do, don't sway the drill. Pull. No, sorry. Full pull on the trigger.
Yeah.
And then just light push on the drill. Yeah. All right. Now pull it out without sagging the drill. Keep the drill up and pull smooth. Flawless. So if you sag the drill, which you did not, good job, it'll create an oblong at the bottom.
And would that mess with the ability for the...
Yeah, it makes the bolt placement less strong, and you would have to put in a longer bolt to compensate. That's really good rock. That is super duper good rock. Hammer time.
So do you hammer it and then you loosen it?
Yeah, so if it's super tight and you hammer it, the bolt is expanded and you're trying to shove this oversized bolt into a hole, right? And it damages the hole. And then you try to tighten it, be like, okay, I'd like you to get tightened out, but the hole is like, oh, I'm already too big, right? In this soft stone. So it's really imperative to loosen it just a little turn like that when you hammer it in. Now, if you're ever like unsure how to hang the angle of the quick draw, hang it like that, hammer in just like that, take off the draw. Let's imagine you messed up somehow in one little tweak wrong. and the hole is slightly too large. When you tighten the bolt, you have the friction of the cone and the sleeve interacting against the rock. And you have the friction of the bolt interacting with the cone. When you tighten it, you want the friction of the bolt tightening underneath the cone to be less than the cone and the sleeve gripping the rock. So if you tighten it slowly, sometimes the cone and the sleeve, which are the rock grabbing proponents, will slip off of the rock. So if you tighten it fast, you're more likely to have the bolt spin inside of the cone, which is what we want, compared to the cone and the sleeve sliding in the rock. So these little boom, and I can already tell because the tension is increasing that we nailed it. Now you drilled a really clean hole, because if you drill a sloppy hole, it sucks. All right, boom, and we hit the end. That's super bomber bolt. Last one.
Cool.
You want to do this one on your own?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to.
You ever rappel like this in a chimney?
No. The first time I've simul rappelled.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm glad it is, because it's best not to simul rappel without somebody super teaching you how not to fuck it up. Yeah.
Yeah, in the past I've turned it down.
Yeah, good call. Good. And I have the tension set correctly, so you're good to hammer it in about a quarter of the way. All right, hold it there. Now we're gonna touch this. Perfect. So notice how we can tighten it and then quarter turn and loosen. So you're good, ready to keep hammering. Okay, hold up. A little bit, loosen it just a tad. Boom, right there, good to go. All right, finish it off. I'm really glad we brought this stuff. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it, but this is fun.
Or you want to
See what we're.
I feel like it's some resistance.
Oh, now we still got more. It like will increase in resistance, but then if you go like maybe like this hand like right there, to like try that. And not slow, big fast.
I think that's it.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yep, you're right. Let me double check. Oh, and there it is, right there. So the correct thing to do when you're newer to a certain bolt is to use a torque wrench. So if I buy a bolt that I've never used before, I will look up the torque specs and bring a torque wrench, tension it, and then I get this one and I calibrate this to that. And then I know exactly how many twists after it tells me to stop. Yeah.
Well, that's very scientific.
Yeah. But a lot of people on the internet will be like, you have to use a torque wrench. And it's like, well, yes, initially, until you get really good. I totally forgot. I have to go over there and chop that other bolt. So we got the grinder. I'm gonna check, make sure the wheel hasn't been damaged. Cool. Okay. We're getting close.
So you're chopping it was a real bolt?
So it's, yeah, I know, unfortunate, right? I put a real bolt in because I was like, yeah, this makes sense. I'll go up this way. You can get gear on this other wall. But if you go from here to there, it's gonna pull the rope away from the gear and pull the gear, like the nuts, out of the crack. So the bolts have to be on this wall. There we go. All right, that's gonna be hot. Unfortunately, I wish I had some epoxy putty to plug the hole, but I didn't have any.
I feel like not many people are using it.
Yeah. I'm gonna hammer this bolt into the back of the hole. This is how most people plug their holes in the desert. You just take some chunks And you just shove them in the hole. Yeah, it's not as good as epoxy putty, obviously, but it's good. It's the thought that counts. There we go. All right, cool. Awesome, man, I'm excited for this other one. And nervous, but that's okay.